Welcome back to Tom's Garage again. Good morning, everybody. Ooh. Good morning. Today we are going to work on this John Deere L110. Going to give it a annual service, and he asked me to check his blades. It says he's cutting his Bermuda grass kind of funky. So we're going to check his deck level, air pressure, and his tires first. Change his oil, give it a good once over for him. We are. Let's get busy. Yeah, let's get busy. All right, this one has got the Kohler Command 17.5. I like that. I like that engine. I really do. Really do. Single cylinder. Let's get this hood off. The hood's got to be closed, I believe, to get this spring. It puts too much tension on that spring when you got it open. All right, what's that? Uh-oh. Just caught my shoestring and untied my shoe. That ain't good. That ain't good at all. Unplug the headlights. There we go. Outside with you, buddy. Something just felt like it was the springs. I felt. Ooh. Boy, you can hear them acorns falling. I hope it ain't hurting my new shingles. They sound like somebody's throwing rocks at me. Big ones too. Let's check his air filter. Oh, look at the dust that just went on down here, boy. Whew. Stuff a rag down in there. Keep all that nastiness from getting in there. Wow, that's a lot of grass clippings. Let's clean that out of there. See what kind of shape the air filter's in. Yeah, we'll get a new air filter. That one is nasty. Whew. His oil don't look bad. I checked his oil earlier. It looks pretty clean, but of course we're going to change it. And the 1205001 Earl filter. And the spurt plug. Let's raise this thing up in the air so we can reach it. I'm going to sharpen his blades real good, check them. Check his deck level. Check his level. I had it running earlier to bring it in on the table, so it should be kind of warm. Yeah, it's still warm. I'm gonna let it drain. I'm not gonna use the vacuum. That way we know every little drop comes out. Let's see, let me grab a bucket. Grab yourself a little bucket. We're going to give it a good cleaning too. Let that be draining. I wonder how tight they got that filter. Feels like it's pretty tight. Let's find out how tight it is. Not too bad. Trying to get my elbow out of your way there. Trying to be thoughtful. Let's go over here and on the shelf and grab another oil flitter. $12.50.01. Get this plastic off of it. Sometimes this plastic falls off and sometimes you gotta fight it. I tell you, this thing looks to me like the date code on it, 2004. This thing sure is nice and clean and pretty to be, what, 13 years old? Or, no, 20 years old. I'm still thinking it's 2017. Well, you know, I should have drained it right there. That was kind of dumb. Get that level down a little bit. Leave that sitting right there, catch whatever's dripping. Let me grab a little wrench. Oh, let's see, I'll use this. A little plug right there will drain that. That's what I should have done. I wasn't thinking. I'm getting ahead of myself. Getting ahead of myself. I guess that's better than getting behind myself. I hate using crescent wrenches. There we go. Just kind of coax it to pour off this way and don't go back under that engine right there. I don't want to have a mess I can't clean up. So just a little plug. I should have done that, just let the oil filter just drain instead of just making a big old mess out of it. Golly. That's all right, we're going to give it a good cleaning anyway. We are. I had the same engine in a Craftsman LT1000. It was a good little tractor. All right, we'll just let that sit there and just dribble. Dribble. Go ahead and stick this new oil filter on. That oil does look pretty good. It's probably been a while since it's been changed though. As nasty this thing is. Clean some of that dust off of it. Don't get in there. All right, let me hit pause. I got a customer. Hang with. All righty, she's finished dripping. Let me put that plug back in there first. Let me grab the little wrench. It looks like about a 5/16 or something. Let's see what. Let me try a 7mm on this thing. That may be what it is. A 5/16 fits it kind of usually. I think I got 11mm or 7mm. Yeah, dude. Nope, it's not a 7. Not a 7mm. It's gotta be an 8mm. Pow. Get it as tight as I can with this one till I felt like I was fixing to strip. I don't want to round it off. That's probably plenty tight right there. I ain't got to get crazy with it. There we go. You got to think of the next poor fella that's got to undo that, which is probably going to be me again next year. What do I do with the cap? Oh, boy, I just had a sneeze attack. Okay, now we'll put the Earl filter on it. It looks like I'm tightening the heck out of it, but I'm not. I just can't really get a hold of it. I just want to give it a little snugging. I believe that's good. Okay. Okay. Let's see. Let me reach up here and grab a aerial filter. Try to remember where they are. I don't run across many Kohlers anymore, the mold style. Where are they? I hope we got one. Let me grab my pickers. What do we got here? I'm not sure what part number that is. Here, grab it, Dobie. Nope, that's not the style I want. I believe that one might be it right there. I don't think I have a new one. Uh-oh, maybe out of it. Air filter. Yep, that's not a new one either. Why do I save them old air filters? Huh. That's not a new one. I gotta order him a new air filter. That's not what I'm needing. Unless it is new, it's just got a little dusty from being up there on top of that shelf. No, that's not a new air filter either. Why do I save these things? Look how crushed it is right there. Y'all see another one up there? I don't see another one. Uh-oh. Oh, well, just make a mess. I gotta move them air filters. I just can't reach them up there. It was a good idea to begin with. I just can't reach them. What is that? A Tecumseh air filter there. I gotta order some more air filters. I'm starting to get low. Especially on the old 491588. Anyway, we'll get one ordered. Or this one may be. Let me look at this one. That one may just need to be blowed out. You could probably reuse that. I think that's what I'll do. I'll save him a few bucks. He may not. Let's go see how well this thing will clean. Let's get Angelica's blower. I don't think he uses this tractor much at all. To be 20 years old, it's only got 153 hours on it. That looks pretty good to me. If I had a new one, I would have put it in there, but it ain't necessary. Save them a few bucks. Good enough. Good enough, good enough, good enough. Now we'll go around and pull the old spark plug out of here. Alright, let me hit pause. I gotta go dig around and see what brand this is. 491055T. Hang loose just a second. RC12YC, that's what it's equivalent to. That's what it's equivalent to. Oh, let's get it back in there carefully. Find the proper angle. I need to be on that side. No noise. All right, plug it back in. Give me the click. Oh, thank you. Okay, we got the oil filter on, plug in, we got the cap on. Let me get this oil stuff out of the way here. Get this stuff out of the way. Slide this bucket out of the way. Looks like that thing holds about 2 quarts. 2 quarts. And we'll go right around here. Pick up that air filter, I'll drop in the floor. All right, let's fill her up, bolts. I got just right at 2 quarts in this jug. Let me move the camera so you're not staring down my armpit. Oop, careful, hang on to it, Dobie. I'll tell you, I make the biggest mess out here sometimes. Put too much coffee in I put too much coffee in my sugar this morning and it gets me jittery. That's about 1 quart there. We'll stop and just see where we are on the dipper stick. We'll give that a second to kind of run down the old throat of the tube. Yeah, that's going to take both quarts. It's going to take both quarts. Wasn't even close to add yet. Yeah, that LT1 or LT1000 Craftsman tractor that had this engine on there. I give it to a buddy of mine. He gave it to his 80-something-year-old grandma. Boy, she loves that little tractor. She loves it, she loves it. Let me grab my hose clamp there and we'll get that fuel filter off while that settles. You can't keep her off of it. She loves it so much. Find a good place to crimp it. Don't quit running from me. Oh, good. There goes that Citation X that flies in and out of Fulton County down there, man. That little airplane, that thing, whew, that is a beautiful airplane. That thing, about a $25 million airplane. It is fancy. Yeah, boy, this thing is gonna give me trouble. I feel like it is. But we're gonna whoop it. Hopefully. Boy, it has done sealed itself. It's gonna break and twist right there. The fuel filter is. Grab it down here and give it some twisty twisties. Another fuel filter whooping. Good grief. See, the fuel filters get weaker out there. And twisting on it, you just mangle it. There we go, we got it. See how it gets weak right there? Uh-oh. Whew. We win. Got the old dumpster breathing hard on that one, boy. Another fuel filter. Yeah. Give him a good Kohler style. The arrow's going that direction. I like these because the ends are bigger and they're longer and they've got two barbs, just like the old filter did. They just fit better. May have to take some of this length off this fuel line, but I don't believe so. Get my clamps out of the way. I don't like the way that's going to be vibrating against that starter. I think what I'll do is I'm going to zip tie it somewhere, or maybe we can go back around there and feed some of the fuel line back into the chassis. Let's do that. See if we can get it pulled back a little bit. I can't even get my fingers in there. Nope, that's going to cause that fuel line to crimp. Not good. Let me pull that back out. So I shoved it down in there a little bit and you can feel the fuel line kinking. If this thing ever quit on him because of that, he'd never figure out why. Let's see, I'm going to put a zip tie. I could put it around here. I don't like that. Put a zip tie around that and wires back there. For a zip tie. Let's see, we'll go right around here with it. I'll get my big old fat hand in there. don't believe I can get in there. If you get it in there, is it easy to get back to? Cut it when you need to. But I ain't gonna be satisfied till I get it in there. See if I can grab it with my fingers. It keeps running from me. Grab my long needle nose and grab a hold of it and pull it. There it is right there. Stick them in there. Grab a hold of it. Well, now the other man went in there. Good Lord. There we go. We got it. Make sure it didn't twist. It don't feel like it did. There. Put that in there. Let's kind of hold it like that. Hold it like that, boy. Make it a little more stable. Now let me cut the end of that hose clamp off there. Zip tie. There. Make sure I wasn't the wire I just cut. It's kind of dark in there to see. All right, now let's check the Earl. See where we're at. It's had plenty of time to settle. And we are just above full mark. Perfect. Now let's fire this thing up and let it cycle. Let's see, let me set the parking brake. Have it down a little bit. Don't forget to put the dipstick back in it because you're going to shoot oil all over your shop. Grab them needle nose out of the way. We might end up having to put a little tad back in there. Okay. Let's see if we can do it without having to choke it. It should still be warm. Check for any leaks. I don't see no leaks. Everything's sealed. We'll give it a second to settle again. Okay, we'll leave the dipstick out laying right there. That way we know to check the oil again. We're not finished with the oil change. All right, next thing we're gonna do is the air filter's clean, oil filter, oil, spark plug. Let's check the level of his deck. Let's do that. What you need to do is put it on 3. You stick your head down there and make sure both blades are facing forward. Let me go move this one over here on this side. Okay, they're both facing forward. Grab the gauges. I'm gonna put the gauges on there first, then I'm gonna check the tire pressure. These gauges are different, but I've already measured them. They'll give you the same exact measurement. They're pretty accurate to each other, so. Can't find the blade. Well, you can't really see it. It's on there, but dang, it's behind that tire right there. You can't see it. Let me put it over here a little bit. Stick my head down there and find the blade again. I'm gonna leave it kind of at an angle. Okay, we're good. We were right there on the tip of that blade, and that is reading right at 2. Okay. Same thing with this one. What I do with the other gauge? There it is. Now let me stick my head under there and find the tip of the blade. Right there, touching the tip of that blade. Now let's go back around here and see what it says. That one there says right at 2. And that one over there says, golly, that's right at 2 also. I believe it was cutting funny because he's got such fine Bermuda and blades are dull, and a combination of probably having low air pressure. I'm going to set the front at about 15, which is what I like, and I'm going to set the back at about 10 or maybe 12. Yeah, let's find out what the tire pressure is. I was just curious to see what the deck was before I done the air pressure. Okay, that's right at 10. That was right at 10.7. This one is, wow, that is low. It's probably what it is. I mean, look how soft that thing is. When he's got a little hill too, and when he goes down the hill, I think when these tires kind of compress, that's got to be what it is. Let me hook up the air hose. Make it a little bit stiffer and give them some fresh, sharp blades. I'm going to leave it like that, right at about 12. Right at about 12. And then we'll put this in here about, well, what do y'all reckon? I put a little more than I asked for because a customer will go a whole year between services without really checking it. And that gives it less opportunity to get terribly low. That's about 15, that's good. 15 and 12. Okay, let's check this one. That one was about 10.7. And this one, they were pretty close, the two front tires to each other. I'll tell you what, if I ever meet Rob Cole, I'm buying him a steak dinner for this thing, man. This is great. This is one of the nicest gauges I've ever had. Those gauges over there I had, man, things probably 30 years old and they probably weren't accurate at all anymore. All right, that tire over there on the back left was 5.1. Yeah, see, this valve stem cap is broke. That ain't good. Get him a new cap. You can just tell it's kind of low. 4.5. right at about 12. Okay. Okay. Let's wrap the air hose back up. Okay, now what we'll do is stick our head back under there. See what that done to the gauge on the blade. I may have to, of course, raise the gauge a little bit because it's probably not touching the tip of the blade anymore. I bet we lifted this thing probably, guys, I want to say about 1/8 of an inch, probably. Yep, we did. What does it say now? Yeah, we barely moved it. So that's still right there on 2. Now let's look on this side. Yeah, we raised it about 1/8 of an inch. That one, let me stick my head in front of you here. That one's barely over 2, and then this one is barely over 2. So that's perfectly level. Had to be a combination of blades getting dull and the tires are just low. Even though they were the same on each side, they were just low, and it would give more on a hill. Make them a little bit more stiffer. It'll give them a more accurate cut. More consistent. Not accurate, but consistent cut. Okay, that's within John Deere specs, 1/4 inch. There's John Deere specs, and we're perfect. It's hard to believe when a 20-year-old tractor is so perfect. All right, let's check this oil. Are you supposed to screw the dipstick down on these command engines? That is just a tad, a little bit over the full line, which is good for me. See, if you wasn't supposed to screw it down, it would be absolutely on the dot. So it's just a lawnmower. Okay. Okay, I'm gonna back this thing off the table. Raise it up a little bit so I can get the blades out from under it. Let's take a look at the blades. I just hook onto it right there. I don't like using that hook anymore. I'm scared I'm gonna pull that roof down on me, and if I do, we're all out of work. Make sure ain't nothing around the table when I let it down. Having something in here with that great big bagger system hopper thing, man, makes me nervous. I can't see good around it. Takes up a lot of room in my shop. Let me back it up a little bit. I'm gonna stop right there halfway down to the ramp on the front wheels. Okay, I forgot his valve stem cap. Let me grab my new valve stem cap real quick. Pow. All right, raise it up a little bit. Get my safety strap. This is how I sharpen blades now. front of the table. Pull the slack out. You can't get this too tight. You'll flip the table up. Very easy to do. Now look at that block of wood behind that back wheel. Safety first. Good. Now you can listen to me moan and groan trying to get up and down off this floor. What size is the bolts? Oh, looks like we got a couple of 9/16 on there. This one don't have the one nut in the middle. Yeah, I gotta put safety first, man, being out here by myself. Nobody can hear me screaming. Ugh. I bet you that's gonna be a 15 millimeter. I don't know though, it's just got that powder coating stuff looking stuff on there. That'll be, grab a 15 millimeter, I think that's what it is. John Deere loves using 15 millimeter hardware. Whew. Let's see, where's the 15? Here it is. I don't have a 15 millimeter impact socket, so we'll just use a regular socket. Yep, it's a 15 millimeter. Yeah, it's 15 millimeter. I would have damaged it with that 9/16. Oh boy, these things are dull. Wow, yeah, that's what it is. There's your problem, sir. There's your problem. Put that in my pocket before I lose it. Let's get this one off. We gotta work around this big tube. Coming off the side. I used to be able to do 2 or 3 push-ups, and I can't even get on the ground. I'll put this 9/16 back in this drawer before I lose it. I'll set it right there. Put that bolt back over there. Yeah, these things are pretty dull. Pretty dull. Look, especially this one. Look at that. Well, that is a dull edge right there. That is a dull edge right there, boy. I'm going to use the RBG to hit this flat spot. Then I'll put it in the vise with the hand grinder and get this curvy part. Can't find a good place to put you. Getting better. I'm gonna hit pause. I don't want to make y'all have to watch me do this. I'm gonna plug this camera in, let it charge a little bit. Y'all hang loose. Pow. Boy, that's a fine edge right there. That is good and sharp. All right, let me hit pause. I'm gonna let this camera cool down again. Let it charge a little bit. I'll stick these blades back on there. We'll get it back on the table and grease it. Yeah. Alrighty, blades back on the table. Now we got to give it a good greasing. This particular model don't have grease fittings on the blade spindles. Pulleys feel pretty good. Belt looks pretty good. Let me reach up in there and feel the transmission pulleys. Well, let me set the parking brake. Let me reach over here and feel the transmission pulleys. Where are they? That one feels pretty good. That one feels pretty good. Okay. Whew, head rush. Okay. You have a grease fitting on the wheel, on the steering spindle, both sides. And John Deere, some models John Deere's have a grease fitting way up yonder, right in the middle of that pivot. Gotta make sure to hit that one. I bet it's missed a lot. Okay, let's get the grease gun. I'm gonna grab a rag. I gotta clean them grease fittings off, get the dust off of them. Ugh. Where's that other one at? There it is. Up and clean. That was covered in felt. And reach around and clean that one. Okay. Oh, let me wipe the dust off this middle one. Where's it at? There it is. Give it a wipey. Well, give him a rag back, boy. Anyway, we'll hit the spindle. That's enough. It's already coming out. I'm gonna have to spin this wheel around a little bit. I'll tell you, every time I watch Sarah over at A-Blind Touch, her little opening jingle, little piano tune, bloom, doom, doom. I just love that. I get that tune stuck in my head for the rest of the day when I watch one of her videos. Check her out. There, coming out now, boy. Hey, give me my grease fitting. Or my grease, yeah, there it is. All right. Now I'm gonna see if I can find that grease fitting up there. Where's it at? I feel it. Click. There we go. You can see it coming out inside that beam right there. You can hear it too. Let's see, let me get my... I have got to get a new grease gun. This thing is old. That's enough for that one. Stick it around there and click it on that one. Yep. Making a mess. Okay. Let's stick this grease gun back on this peg. Grab my rag and wipe that big glob of grease off the wheel. Right there. Yeesh. Yeesh. All right, so far. So far, changed the oil filter, cleaned the air filter, spark plug, fuel filter. Sharpened the blades, checked the level of the deck, adjusted all the tire pressure, greased the front end real good. Sharpened the blades, checked all the belts and pulleys. And by golly, I believe we're done with this thing. All we're gonna do now, I'm not gonna make y'all watch, but we're gonna give this thing a good cleaning. All that dirt. Clean up our mess right there. So I'm gonna take it out there and give it a good cleaning. Give it a good cleaning. Give it a good. Let's see, ain't nothing sitting back here behind it, is it? Nope. We're good. Minute. All right, let's try this again. All right, let's give this thing a good horsing off there, boy. And when y'all see it again, it will be nice and pretty. Hang with. All right, we're going to pay special attention to around the engine. All that oil I spilled. Y'all made me spill. I spray the outside of the hood last. That way I can get to the hose and wash that soap off real quick. I don't want that soap sitting on that hood and drying or anything for any length of time. Just want to get all the dust and debris. So what I'll do last, like I said, I'll close the hood, then spray the top, then hit it with the hose. And the rest of the body work. Bloop doodle doodle bloop doodle doodle doodle. Bloop doodle doodle bloop doodle doodle. All right, we went all the way around it. Give it a good dusting with some soap. Half water and half purple power. See, I'll hit that hood right there. Oh boy. All right, let's get the soap off the hood. Every time I wash a John Deere like this, I think of old Steve over at Bald Eagle 242 and hit that John Deere hood with the hose and knocking it closed and breaking it in half. Oh God. I think that was a mower he was flipping. I don't know if it belonged to a customer. But I believe I'd pass out for about 3 days if I'd done that to somebody's tractor. All right, what I want to do is pay special attention to right in here, all this nasty stuff. I try to avoid that solenoid, avoid the noid, and I try to avoid that air filter. Let's get that barrel cover right in here around the frame. I bet my neighbors think I'm just weird. I don't know, they're young folks, they probably do the same thing with cameras and social media and all that kind of stuff. Get all that oil out. Get all that crud out of there. All that oil right there we spilled. Oh yeah, all that dust and grime come off pretty good. Now we'll close this hood, because I'm not good at plastic welding. And then we'll just hit the rest of the body. Start back here, wash everything forward. All right, let's go around this side and do the same thing. Look, honey, there's that crazy man next door holding the camera while he's washing the lawnmower. He's out there again, look. Oh my God, what is he doing? Pull that seat back and hit the steering wheel. That's the first thing they see is the steering wheel. Make sure all the dust is off of it. Get that front wheel, front beam. See if we can get some of that crud out of there. Out from under that spindle. Blow it out of there, boy. Can't see in there real well. All right, good enough. This thing about washing lawnmowers, you gotta know when to quit. All right, let's wrap this hose back up. Okay, now what we're going to do is just let this thing sit out here and just dry. Just let it dry. Well, all right, boys and girls, there she is, all nice and pretty clean. Look at there. Nice and pretty clean. Isn't she lovely? Well, all right, boys and girls, that's the annual service on a John Deere L110 Kohler Command. Woo, appreciate y'all watching another Tom Luby video. Another customer. I love y'all. And we will catch y'all on the next one, man. I love y'all.